Peace and blessings, family. It is yours truly, Amari. I am the founder of El Keblan Unity Alliance, where we focus on your spiritual, your physical, and your financial well-being. My Ohima Amani Amari is the co-founder. Ohima is Ghanaian. It is from the Akan people. And it pretty much stands for Queen. And on today, we're going to be talking about creativity. I have on the Duinami. Okay, Duinami. It's a Dinkra. It is from the Akan people. And it's ram horn. It stands for strength and humility. Duinami. Adinkra, for humility and strength, standing for that sometime even the strong has to humble themselves. We have to understand that we don't know everything. And so we must, as teachers, become students as well. We're forever learning. And we grow by us humbling ourselves and adhering to wise advice. And we're going to talk about that on today. We're going to talk about Kaumba. Kaumba. Now that's Swahili for creativity. And Kaumba is the sixth principle for Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa starts in December on the 26th. It goes for 7 days. It goes all the way up until January the 1st. Baba Karenge was the one who started it over here in America. Okay, and he created a festivity for us over here, for us to celebrate. And Kaumba creativity, it means to do always as much as we can in order to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. Now we can back it up, that's the 6th day, but we can back it up to the 5th day, which leads to that 6th day, which is Nia. Nia is purpose. Nia is to restore our people to their traditional greatness, to be responsible to those who came before us, which is our ancestors, our Gungun, and after us, which is our grandchildren and our children. And we're going to talk about creativity on the day. We're not going to limit it to that because the root word in creativity is to create. And I definitely believe that this is befitting in this hour due to what our brother Tyler Perry has done, creating such a mega studio area. And I really see it as mega opportunities for our people. I love what our brother said. He said that he's not going to beg for a seat at the table. He's going to create his own table. And at that table, he has laid out a spread, if you will, for our people to be able to eat from it. And so who that reminds me of really is our ancestor, peace and blessings be upon her, Diane Carroll, who was the one who spearheaded our women to be able to do other roles other than being prostitutes. Okay. She had fought for that because she did not want to limit her craft and her artistry to just simply always being presented in a degrading role. Okay. This is the reason why it's important when you start thinking about the minstrel and you start thinking about the blackface. Okay. And how a lot of our people, in order for them to be able to participate in film, they either had to compromise or not get recognized. Okay, and unfortunately some did do that. And they submitted to putting on blackface. and being made fun of, rather than taking a stand like our ancestor Diane Carroll did. Again, peace and blessings be upon her. She just transitioned this year, from my knowledge. And, I celebrate the Queen. I celebrate the Ohima, who spearheaded the movement for our women to be able to be put in positions other than degrading positions. When you think about historically in film, and you think about Denzel Washington, how he didn't receive an award until he actually acted as a drug dealer, a criminal, a betrayer of justice, him being in the position of a cop and being a crooked cop at that. He didn't get recognized for his body of work prior to that, up until he took a degrading role, to me personally, as enacting as a gangster. And so you see, peace and blessings be upon you, my brother Patrick Alexander. Peace, love, and power, my brother. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the nagas. For those who don't know what that means, that's king. Okay, I like to utilize our language, and I'm not fluent in these languages, but I'm learning these languages. I'm learning Yoruba. I'm learning Swahili. I'm also learning Asante Tree. Okay, I learned Asante Tree. You have Ewe, then Fanti. Okay, and they all fall under the Akan umbrella, and they all have their own chi. Okay, I know it sounds like tree, but it's tree. It's TWI. And so they all have their own form of that language. But again, it goes back to what we talked about, which is Nia, which is restoring us back to our culture, back to our greatness, and getting us back in touch with who we actually are. But to go back to what we were initially talking about creating our own platform and what have you. Okay, one thing about creating our own, it's empowering us for us to call the shots. It's empowering us to change the narrative about our character. Okay, I also want to salute our brother Tariq Nasheed, who actually did Healing Colors and have, I believe it's approximately about 6 of those videos. And also I like to salute my other good brother, Daliana Dafo, who came out with Ancestral Voices, and who had Professor James Smalls, who also, our brother came on this program, and he has a DVD out in regards to his spiritual journey and reconnecting us with the motherland. It's imperative for us to have our own imagery due to the fact that we are going to tell the truth about who we actually are. We're going to tell the truth about our history not starting with slavery. We're going to talk about the great men and women, just like I mentioned right now. Our good brother Tyler Perry, who's going to go down in history, of course, for what he's done, as well as people like Shirley Chisholm, who was one of our first women amongst our people to run for presidency as a female. So many people, they talk about Hillary Clinton, but none of our people that I know of, and I haven't heard it yet, people speaking about Shirley Chisholm, who actually had ran for presidency. Okay. We need to know about these things. And the reason why, because it's self-empowering. Okay. It gives us self-confidence. Okay, it gives us encouragement to believe that we can do whatsoever we put our minds to. Okay, and what our brother did is something absolutely great. And also, I'd like to celebrate our brother Roland Martin, who also said, you know what, I'm going to be creative. I'm going to create our own television broadcast network, and it's funded by the people. We the people. Okay, so we the people in our community pulled together, and because of us supporting Tyler Perry, okay, because we have to keep in mind Tyler Perry didn't get where he is without us. Okay, remember now, like Brother Roland Martin so eloquently stated, okay, and this is why it's important for us to have our own. He stated that. He said, hey, Brother Tyler Perry got there by our dollars. So cooperative economics. Brother Tyler Perry, we as a community empowered our brother to empower us. So now you have the domino effect. It boomeranged. Okay, it's coming back into the community now as we sow into people like that who have our best interests at heart. It's imperative that we must understand that it's not enough for somebody to look like us. Okay, they must come with the agenda of Ujamaa. Okay, is Ujima. Okay, Ujamaa is collective work and responsibility, making our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solving them together. We must understand that Kwanzaa, the principles, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa is not to be expounded upon during that particular time of the year. We must understand that the principles are just like laws that govern your life. Okay, so those principles from Kwanzaa are to be acted out in our daily lives, 365 days throughout the year. It's not restricted to just a period of time from December the 26th all the way to January 1st. Okay, so that's one thing I love about, Kwanzaa. It is ours. We created that. And we must also understand that every tradition is created. Okay, it's FUBU. Okay, we have to live by FUBU. Listen, that title is very powerful. That acronym is very, very powerful. Okay, when we start growing in our wisdom, we start understanding that, like, these businesses like that who has names like that where the acronym stands for us, by us. That's powerful. That's powerful. It was created for us, by us. So we have to live by that FUBU principle in our daily lives. We have to create. And again, Kaumba is creativity, the root word in it, create. So we have to start creating. I understand that is not just, like my queen always says this, it's more than just a notion, right? We literally have to create. In order for us to have our own, we have to create. One thing I love about Brother Magic Johnson, now I personally wouldn't have sold my I know he walked away with a pretty hefty amount, but we in a lot of cases have to get away from selling our businesses. Okay, look at how Sam Walter, how he did. It was passed down from generation to generation and continuously building generational wealth. So a lot of us have to stop being so quick to even sell our businesses as well. Okay? We need to start thinking, I want to say not temporarily, but we have to start thinking permanently. We have to start thinking not just for the now, but, we have to start thinking for the later. You know what I'm saying? And what we got to do is create these opportunities for ourselves, where we don't have something that exists within our community. We have to fill in the gap. All right. There's some things I won't even say on camera. All right. There's some ideas I won't even say on camera because I know somebody, they'll steal it and they'll run with it, and next thing you know, it's out of our hands. Okay. But I will talk about things that's already been put out there. Like our brother Tyler Perry and I believe Avra, who did the Exonerated 5. Okay. You see how she was able to speak for us. So see, it's Kuji Chagalia. Now see how these principles are tying in. Kujichagulia. Defining ourselves and speaking for ourselves. Okay? So when we have our own, we're able to speak for ourselves and we're able to tell our stories, without any tainting, and we're able to get out the facts about certain things. But see, the thing is, though, that the only way we're going to be able to survive is by us sowing into each other's businesses. And that's where cooperative economics comes in, that although we may create something, the thing is, how can what we create survive if we don't put our dollars into that? The reason why a lot of our businesses don't last is because of the lack of imani. I-M-A-N-I. Okay? Swahili for faith. Okay? Another one of our principles. We got to have faith in each other. And see, one thing I love about what Brother Tyler Perry has done is he's given a quality product. And see, that debunks the lie that, we don't know how to do business right. Do you not know the people that has graced the stages of his movies? Like Morris Chestnut, Taraji, okay? Edris. Okay, he has had some heavy hitters that has acted in his movies. You understand what I'm saying? So it was cooperative economics. They worked together to make money together. And now because of what we have done as a people, this is proof. It's an example of what we can do, of what we can get if we don't quit. I'm going to say it again. What Tyler Perry has done, because see, a lot of people see him in his glory, but you need to listen to his story. Okay, you need to really listen to Tyler Perry's story, how he was homeless at one time. So the Tyler Perry we know today, we wouldn't even know the Tyler Perry that we know today had he given up. So what I'm saying is that we see what we can get if we don't quit. So if we pull together and we keep fighting together, we'll be able to create our own franchises. In fact, guess what? Okay? How about we pull together and create our own franchises? There's enough multimillionaires amongst us in the United States of America. If you look at all the basketball players, all the football players, okay, the actors, all the entertainers, okay, even people who like the billionaire who gave to Morehouse and paid their ways, from out of college debt. And the parents included in that as well. Okay? Could you imagine if all the heavy hitters came together with their millions of dollars and start creating our own franchises? See, understand this. We have to become creative in order for us to create abundance. Listen, we must understand we're buying into these franchises and we're making millions of dollars. Could you imagine how much we could make if we were the ones who owned the franchise? I'm not talking about just having a crumb from the piece of bread. I'm not talking about having a slice of the loaf. I'm not talking about having a slice of the pie. I'm talking about having the whole pie. Could you imagine if we started our own franchises? That will enable us to hire our own. That will enable us to stay in business, take care of our families, and to be able to take care of each other. And see, what has to happen is our mindset has to transform into family business. We got to stop just seeing it as, and I say this all the time, and I will continue to say this. Okay, when we do business with each other, it's more than just an exchange for commerce of goods. Okay? It's actually empowerment. We are enabling our family who run Black owned and operated businesses, African owned and operated businesses. We are enabling them to stay in business, to take care of their families, and to be able to help our families take care of their families. Okay, and also we're enabling them to hire. When entrepreneurs have enough revenue coming in, then they can start writing the checks. But guess what it's going to take? It's going to take faithful customers to be able to create these opportunities for ourselves. So I just want to leave you with that thought. Don't take all day long, for us to explain these things. Okay, I just wanted to table those things with you because we have people like that, like Madam C.J. Walker, who opened up the door as well for beauty products. It's a lot of sisters out here that know our women's hair. Okay? Now, yes, we have Shea Moisture, but I'm going beyond that. Okay, we have Shea Moisture, one of the biggest brands that I know by our people. Okay, that's created that, whose products is shelved, in Walmart, which I purchased, our brother's products from Shea Moisture. Okay, I buy, his soap, and I buy the body oil. Okay, now could you imagine if more of us came together, and because we know ourselves, we know that our hair texture is different. We know that our skin is different. Could you imagine if more of our people will go into the beauty supply arena? That you talking about billions of dollars right there. You talking about $1 billion business. Okay? Could you imagine if we came together and one person bought the store and then we start shelving each other products? See, this is the reason why I keep saying that, we got to start thinking bigger. I continuously keep telling people my mind is bigger than a $1 million house. It's bigger than a Jaguar, a BMW, or a Maybach. It's bigger than that. Because this is about building a nation. Okay, my mind, I don't just think individually, I think collectively. Remember, Ujima, collective work and responsibility. And remember, Nia, to restore our people back to their tradition and position of greatness and to be responsible to our ancestors and our children and our grandchildren. So we got to start thinking about a bigger picture. We got to start thinking as a nation. And we have to start creating. Like Brother Ice Cube did with them creating, their athletic sports, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's basketball, if I'm not mistaken, starting their own league and what have you. You know what I'm saying? We the ones who make up the NFL, the most of the NFL. Could you imagine what would happen if they would have walked off with Colin Kaepernick and they would have started their own league? You know what I'm saying? We actually would support. Why? Because majority of the people who are the main players are African. See, listen, where we have to understand is this. We must understand that really, in all actuality, we are the glue to the economy. So many of us think that we don't mean anything, we don't make a difference. I guarantee you, if every African person will leave the United States of America, I guarantee you this country's economy will fall to the ground. Without the African dollar, this country will not survive economically. And this is why we must understand we have to understand the boycott. That's the reason why the boycott really is the most effective. It's really not marching. It's really the money. It's not the marching. Okay? They don't feel anything until we start hitting their pockets. And the reality is, it shouldn't even stop. Cooperative economics shouldn't stop after they give us what we want in a certain area. It should never stop. It should be continuous. We need to, just like Brother Tyler Perry did, we need to follow the lead of Brother Tyler Perry, Brother Roland Martin. Okay, then another thing we need is our own radio broadcast. Why do we need our own radio broadcast? So we can stop playing all this gangster rap foolishness. And so we can stop playing on the radio the lyrical content that makes our people into a bunch of thugs and whores. Okay? This is the reason why we need our own. And so we could change the narrative about the African men, women, and children. So we can change our position and take control over our minds. Because our conduct stems from what has been deposited in us. Okay, and it's no different, just like the human body. Whatsoever you put in your human body, our human body, liquid-wise, you're going to urinate. Whatever you eat, you're going to defecate. So whatsoever it is that we put in ourselves is going to come out us. It's going to manifest through our character. So the only way opposition is going to transform is if we start inserting financial literacy in our curriculum in our schools. This is why we have to create. I'm not talking about HBCU. See, a lot of times when we talk about these schools, a lot of times we go to HBCUs, but you must understand his history. We have more than just HBCUs. See, a lot of people don't go back to the time where we couldn't even go to their schools. You understand? You know what I'm saying? We had nursery schools. We had elementary schools. We had middle schools and high schools. Okay? There in Memphis, I believe it's Orange. I believe it's Orange Rush or something like that along those lines, somewhere along that historical area over there where it was Orange Mound. Thank you. It was Orange Mound. It's an historical community in Memphis, Tennessee, where they had their own. Okay, so like I told you before, family, there's more than just Tulsa, Oklahoma. I know we talk about that a lot because our ancestors were bombed. Peace and blessings be upon all of them. And they did make a significant landmark. But when you really start doing your research, you're going to bury a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, that you didn't know about, as far as what we have done. Okay? And Orange Mound was one of those places where, you know, you seen cooperative economics. You know, you seen Umoja, which is unity. You seen Amani Faith. You seen Nia the Purpose. You seen Kaumba. You seen Kuji Chagalia. You seen Kaumba. You seen Nia Purpose. You seen Amani. You seen Faith. You seen Ujima. They made each other's problems their problems and they solved them together. So in order for us to be able to change our position, We have to become more creative. We have to start creating our own medical facilities. We have to start having our own contracted businesses. We have to get in the arena of being engineers. We have to get more involved in technology because remember, creativity, creating our own. This is the reason why now Bitcoin is legal. You know, we have brothers and sisters. I have a friend, you know what I'm saying, that I can connect you with. You know what I'm saying? Now you have Bitcoin. We can make up our own money. Look at Brother Akon. Brother Akon has the Acorn. Created his own money. Has his own lighting business over in Africa. How many black-owned electric companies do you know of? How many black-owned car brands do you know of? The only one I know of is over Katinka, that's over in Africa, over in Ghana, Accra, Ghana. It don't exist over here. Our own trains, our own bus lines. We have to start creating. We have to start creating. And in order for our situation to no longer be in a disposition, then we got to shift our position. We have to change our posture. And it all starts right here first. It starts in our minds. We have to start thinking like family, working together as a family. And so we can get farther as a family, like the African proverb says. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go farther, we have to go together. Peace, love, and power. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's program. If you'll be so kind, go to El Kebalan Unity Alliance, subscribe to our channel. Okay, there we have numerous playlists for you. Okay, other than myself speaking all the time, okay, we have various personalities, like I said, like Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben, you know, was on there. We have in the health arena, Brother Patrick Delves. If you don't know, he helps people to get healed from cancers and help them to be nursed back to health and to avoid even being in that state of sickliness. We have Dr. Sabi on there on our health and wellness playlist there. Okay, we have economics. We have Dr. Claude Anderson on there, Dr. Boyce Watkins. We have Brother Jay Morrison. Okay. So you know, you definitely want to go check us out, man. So I'll provide the link there in the header of the video. That way you could click on that link. You could go there. Okay, again, for us, it's not about the money with me. Okay, I'm not on YouTube for that. You know, some people, they do it for a business, but the business I am in is empowering our people. That's the business that I'm in. Okay, I'm in that business, that arena. You know what I'm saying, of helping to empower us, because I have not forgotten where I come from. Okay, I was one who grew up on welfare. Okay, I know what it is to eat, you know, the welfare peanut butter and cheese and honey and have the flour and you know, your mama be on WIC and okay, I know what that looks like. Okay, I know what it looks like to have credit at the corner store. Okay, my queen, she come from the worst area in her city in Pompano Beach, Florida. And, you know, and Collier City, okay? I know they call it Kai City, okay? That's not the way it's spelled, but it's all good. You understand what I'm saying? And me, I come from the worst two sides of Rochester, New York, the east side and the west side, you know, and I know what poverty looks like. And I'm not just talking about economically. I'm talking about people who's poor in spirit. Because a lot of times we think about poverty, we think about economics all the time. I'm talking about us holistically. as a people, being economically in poverty, and also being spiritually in poverty, not knowing who they are, lacking the knowledge. Knowledge is wealth. Why? Because knowledge empowers us. It empowers self. So knowledge is power to a degree. Okay? It does give us confidence. Okay, but the only way transformation is going to come is the implementation of the information, okay, that would transform our lives. Okay, so knowledge is power to some degree, but you got to put what you know into action. Okay, and the reason why a lot of us are not out of the situations that we're in is because we lack the knowledge to empower us to come out of those situations. I thought my way out of those situations. Why? Because I was taught information. And when I implemented that information, it transformed my life spiritually, financially, and physically. My health. I was on my way to the grave. A lot of people don't know. But when I listen to Dr. Sebi, when I listen to people like Patrick Dales and Supernova Sloan, and also Queen Mother Afua, okay, when I started listening to people like that, and all praise be to the gods and the ancestors for my queen who introduced me to such powerful people, it helped to transform my life. So we even created our own health market. Okay, holistic health. We have to get into that. And we have to create, listen, understand this. I know that McDonald's and Burger King and all these other franchises make a whole lot of money, but where's our health going to be after that? So yeah, it's generating great wealth. Oh yes, it is. But at what expense? Eating all those French fries and eating that fake meat and things of that nature. What? That bread, you know what I'm saying? The flour that's used in it, the ingredients in these things. Yes, it helps to generate money, but see, what we got to start thinking about is a healthier alternative, because our people are dying from heart disease. So we have to, that's why I keep saying that a lot of times we clap and we celebrate, you know what I'm saying, these accomplishments. But here's the thing. At what expense are we making money? What is the difference between the drug dealer and pushing Burger King and McDonald's and Kentucky Fried Chickens? Because all of it is poison. All of it is toxic. All of it is causing us to die. So we must create in order for us to live. Peace, love, and power.